All right, guys, thank you for joining us tonight. Let me know how this sounds between the both of us.
Yeah, hopefully my
And
hobo studio I got set up here works.
we shall see. Tom said 5x5, Evolving Media. All right, yeah, you sound good on my end.
Awesome. Those pop-up chimes aren't coming through in your ear too, are they?
No,
The hell do I? Okay, good.
no,
Man,
no, 5x5. Hi, Mike. Where's Prepper Revelator? Probably busy, I think. Are you on Rumble? I don't see you on Rumble. Oh, boy. See, it's always one thing or the other. And Rumble is precise, man. If you don't get Rumble at like the time you said you're going to start it, it won't. Oh, it's on. I'm on Rumble.
yeah, Rumble's a tough one, man. We tried to do the Four Horsemen podcast on Rumble for a while, and it
Yeah,
was just
garbage.
the interface just sucks, man. It sucks so bad.
All right, so let's get these 5x5s out of the way, or as much as we can. I do apologize for being late. We were trying to figure this shit out. Mr. Landfill, thank you to 5x5. Bush Pig, Nostradamus, Tom, Dan Phillips, Evolving Media, Flown Grown, Raven, F you all, Toto, thank you to 5x5. Sarita, Ozark, Maria, Raccoon, Scott, Dobie, Colt, Jeep, Kathy, thank you for the 5x5. Let's see, Rhonda, American Viking, Michelle, Wallace, thank you for the 5x5. Enjoy Your Life, Bass Bunny, Visit, PA Mama Bear, thank you for the 5x5. Nomad, Lexi, Paula, Crow, thank you for the 5x5. Mitch, Scott, Sarsha, I'm so sorry, thank you for the 5x5. Rhonda, thank you for the 5x5. 5x5, thank you for the 5x5. Luz, Kimbo, Highlander, Peaceful, Spectre, Etta, thank you for the 5x5. Nancy, Lori, Jesus, Jeff, Mitch, Groundhog, Eric, Wyatt, thank you for the 5x5. There's a lot of 5x5s today.
Yeah,
Hey,
keep them coming.
yeah, I know. It's a lot. All right, I think we're done. Dave, Brian, 5x5. 1 second after. Steve, thank you for the 5x5. Sassy, thank you for the 5x5. I'm going to have to write, I think it's Sarsha. I got to write her name down so I don't forget it. So it's etched in my fucking mind. Lori, thank you for the 5x5. Josh, Max, Comet Moon. All right. And on Rumble, Maria, Prep to Adapt, thank you for the 5x5. All right. So, guys, as some of you know, and maybe for those that don't, this is Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. He's on the show more than others. I said that I'm going to try to start bringing more people back, and I would like to. So, starting with him, I'm hoping my next guest to be pinball, and obviously some of the old school, like Northern Girl hobbies. Hopefully I can get Prepper Revelator to actually come on here and show his face. That would be nice. And
Heck yeah.
yeah, and there's a couple of Sirsha, thank you. I'm gonna write that shit down. She just put it on there.
When you try to sound it out, it does not come out like that.
No, it doesn't. It not at all. But it's Sirsha. Thank you for that. All right. Say. She says that's what pinball calls her. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get some other guys back on here just because the conversation's good, and it always flows well with these people. Other people, like new people, is kind of hard. I am looking at some new people, so we shall see where this goes.
Cool,
One
man.
guy is the last Bushman survival or some shit like that on Instagram. See if I can get him on here
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Grit
because
and Grace, good to see you. Scott Hummer, what's up? Nostra in the house.
what's crazy
Oh,
is
Gene
that
W, thank you.
you're on here long enough, you realize you notice a lot of names. Like you just see the same
Yeah.
people, which is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah,
So
well, you remember some of the old ones. My very first subscriber on YouTube ever, my very first subscriber was the Angry Prepper, believe it or not. You were my first subscriber.
was I? No shit. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
His name is Last Huntsman Outdoors. That's it's one guy.
Sweet.
Yeah, one guy I'm gonna try to get on here.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, and then make sure shit. Maybe a couple guys from the firehouse. I know one or two guys wouldn't mind showing their face on here, so we could do that.
Sweet.
Again, vegan, I would talk with you. Vegan MAGA. All right, you got to send me an email. Pretty sure he has. Winter Homestead's another one I wouldn't mind having come back on here as well.
Yeah, Gnostic Nomad. Great dude. He's got a small channel he's starting
Oh yeah,
up in New Hampshire. Yep.
no
Yep.
shit.
Awesome. Awesome channel. Doing the things
I
out in the
wouldn't
woods,
mind.
voicing his opinion. It's cool. It's cool.
All right.
It's always good to see other people's perspectives because you kind of get on your preparedness train and you're going for so long that you get kind of tunnel vision and it's like this is what I want and this is it and this is all there is and then
Right.
you see somebody else's perspective and it's like wow well maybe I really don't need all that bullshit.
Yes, that's and especially guys that are guys like that Homestead, and like I have no clue what I'm doing in that regard. So I would absolutely be on here asking for fucking help, like you would believe. I mean, it's funny when Mamdani becoming mayor soon because he's going to win. That's just how it is. There is
Yeah.
no there is no wiggle room for anybody else. Supposedly, Adams is dropping out. That might give
Really
Cuomo a fighting chance, and I can't fucking believe that Cuomo's it would. That's the two choices we
would
have.
be the lesser of two evils.
Oh,
Holy shit, bro.
yeah, no. I'm like, you kidding me? Cuomo versus
Oh
Mamdani? I'm
man,
like,
New
but
York is New York is so screwed.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I would rather Eric Adams again, just because. Not that he was a great mayor. He wasn't even good. He wasn't close to good, but he is way better than Mamdani. But
Yeah,
he
I'm at
alienated.
least he was a cop.
Right, but he alienated too many people. That's the problem, right? So, yeah. So fuck all of them. I mean, ask cancer for the best of them, but that's not going to happen. Um, it's this world, these people, these evil people, are looking to tank our society. That's the crazy shit. You had a guy
Yeah.
like Charlie Kirk, right, who's trying to build a better society for the
Yeah, or
most.
at least a bridge from one side to the other. Just have a conversation about it. All they wanted to do was talk about it.
Right, and the crazy shit is that people compared him. I know what a guy at my firehouse is trying to do. He's playing devil's advocate, and he was trying to bring up George Floyd, and I'm like, you can't compare a waste. Let me walk. Nah, fuck it. You can't compare somebody who was a drain on society. I don't want to say it was a waste of life because there's always a small door, or rather a crack in that door that's open for someone to change their shit around. So George Floyd, yes, if he was alive today, could he be a better man? Probably not. But in a few years from that, maybe. We don't know. We'll never know. But to compare George Floyd to Charlie Kirk is some crazy bullshit.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, why is one life more important than the other? I said, because the guy who's trying to make society better as a whole, the guy who's actually changing lives, that's the guy who you want. And that's the guy who has more value on this planet than the next person. Now, I'm pretty sure Charlie Kirk would disagree with my assessment, because he was
Right.
more of a everybody has a place on this planet. And the fact of the matter is, I've been in this shit for over 20 years now, right? I was an
Yeah.
EMT, I was a fireman. I see what society is. I
Mm.
know that Charlie Kirk hasn't. He didn't live this life. He didn't do what I did. He didn't see the people I see. He didn't see the people for years do the same shit, and they had avenues to get out of that life, and they didn't. And they're still
Yeah.
stuck there. They're worse or they're dead. And so somebody like George Floyd over Charlie Kirk, to make that comparison on somebody who has done damage to society versus somebody who's trying to build a better society, there is value in somebody who's going to add to that society. All right.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, listen, it might be the prepper in me that if I had a prepper compound, I'm not taking a George Floyd into my compound. I'm taking a Charlie Kirk, right? I'm taking somebody
Yeah.
like you, prepper revelator, people I know, people that are going to add to society, not a guy who's going to suck and drain my fucking prepper compound to fucking nothing.
It's man, I don't the bullet that hit Charlie Kirk hit a lot more than him. It walloped the First Amendment pretty hard, you know.
Yes, it
And
did.
I think that's kind of what took the air out of the room from it. It was because his death was so much bigger than just him. It was a shot at the First Amendment. And where does it stop now? You know, that's the question. And they released some of the text, some of the text messages today from this dude on the Discord server. They leaked them. I could read them for you, bro.
If you got them up,
It,
by all means, man, go ahead.
Yo, I'll tell you what. Let's do it. Let's do it. So here we go. It says police saw a photo of a note under his keyboard, which read, "I have an opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." You're joking, right? His roommate replied. He said the suspect answered, "I'm still okay, my love. Shouldn't be long until I can come home." Robinson allegedly used his grandfather's distinct rifle, which was given as a gift. Here's the full exchange right here. It says, here's a transcript of the messages released by the Utah County District Attorney. Robinson, drop what you're doing. Look under my keyboard. The note read, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." Roommate, what? You're joking, right? Robinson says, "I'm still okay, my love, but I'm stuck in OREM for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I got to grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had dropped it to keep this, I had hoped to keep this a secret until I died of old age. I'm sorry to involve you." Roommate, you weren't the one who did it, right? Robinson, I am. I'm sorry. Roommate,
Ah,
I thought they caught the person. Robinson, no, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing I had. Planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering. Roommate, why? Robinson, why did I do it? Roommate, yes. Robinson, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I'm able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully, they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it. Roommate, how long have you been planning this? Robinson, a bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there's a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it. Robinson, I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got to my vehicle. I'm worried what my old man would do if I didn't bring back Grandpa's rifle. IDEK if it had a serial number, but it wouldn't trace to me. I worry about prints. I had to leave it in a bush where I changed outfits. I didn't have the ability or time to bring it with. I might have to abandon it and hope they don't find prints. How the fuck will I explain losing it to my old man? That's the only thing he's worried about? That was my words right there. I'm sorry. The only thing left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. Remember how I was engraving bullets? The effing messages are mostly big memes. If I see notices bulge UWU on the Fox News, I might have a stroke. All right. I'm going to have to leave it. That really fucking sucks. Judging from today, I'd say Grandpa's gun does just fine. I don't know. I think it was a $2,000 scope with smiley face emojis. Angry, what I'm going to do, brother, is I am going to copy this thing right here and I'm going to put it right in the chat for everybody.
don't put
The
that
article.
in the chat. Don't put that
No?
in the chat. No.
Well, no, this is an article from the sunnews.com.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that you can do. Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to drop that text in the chat. No way.
Yeah, like,
No way. But this is all from an article from the sunnewsus.com, and I'll put it in the chat right now. There's a link to it under my name in there.
Got it.
Robinson said right after it was a $2,000 scope, he said, delete this message. Robinson said, my dad wants photos of the rifle. He says, Grandpa wants to know who has what. The feds released a photo of the rifle, and it's very unique. He's calling me right now, not answering. Robinson, since Trump got into office, my dad has been a pretty diehard MAGA. Robinson, I'm going to turn myself in willingly. One of my neighbors here is a deputy for the sheriff. Robinson, you are all I worry about, love. Robinson, I'm much more worried. Our roommate, I'm much more worried about you. Robinson says, don't talk to the media, please. Don't take any interviews or make any comments. If any police ask you questions, ask for a lawyer and stay silent. And that was the end of the
Now,
message.
I have to ask you this question: do you believe this?
I tell you what, that's a hell of a story to fabricate right there, bro. And in all honesty, I mean, if I was going to fabricate a story, I don't think it would have been some weirdo fucking love triangle.
Yeah, I mean, I have issues with this whole thing, but the big
Oh,
part
totally,
is
totally.
the big part is the roommate. Like that means they took the text out as whatever their name was, and you know their code name or
Yeah,
username.
yeah.
Sorry,
On
and they
Discord or
changed
whatever.
right. And once they did that, they fucked up. They should have just left the username in there. I get why they put Robinson and roommate, but there's a lot of shit. And in that last part, Robinson, you know, I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it and all this other shit. The kid never had the rifle on him. When he jumped off that roof, he never had anything on him. When he
Yeah, I
fell,
didn't see anything.
right when he fell and hit the ground, his leg bent, both of them bent. So the stock or however he took it apart wasn't in there anyway. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
looking at. I'm looking at this and I'm like, and I don't know much about scopes. So I mean, anybody who looked at the scope, they'll probably be able to tell you whether that was a $2,000 scope or not. But yeah, I take issue with this whole fucking thing. And
Yeah.
you know what? I mean, I get the whole fabrication. The problem is Mossad is fucking very, very good at dialogue when it comes to shit like this. I
Yeah.
wholeheartedly, I will die on that hill. And by the way, I'm fairly healthy. I'm not suicidal. I don't have any fucking problems like that. So if I wind up, you know, missing or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
falling out of my window, yeah.
Exactly.
You know, but I just
No.
say that because I'm going to die on this hill that it was Mossad. Um, what's
Tell
his
you
name?
what, he said a couple of things about the old nation that starts with the big I, and they weren't very well. He asked the true hard questions in public out loud to like Tucker Carlson, I believe it was, and
Yes.
man, when you piss off the wrong people in the big I country, you can get hurt really bad just accidentally, you know.
Well, yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this is sick a fur. No, I don't know what the hell that means. But yeah, a lot of somebody said that wasn't a $2,000 scope. I like listen. There's some gun guys that can look at this shit and they'll be like, yeah, that's
I'll
not a
tell you.
2,000.
Tell you from a mile away.
Right. Yeah. I don't like I said. I don't have any. I don't profess to be a fucking gun dude, so I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know what I'm looking at. Yeah, like I said, there was a lot of problems with that dialogue shit that was being said, and he was explaining way too much if he didn't want to get caught and he wanted to delete this. You can't delete shit off of Discord, not anymore,
Yeah,
right?
from somebody who wanted to take it to their grave, they sure are doing a whole lot of fucking talking, you know,
Right, and then state and go, oh, you know,
and
yes, I
totally, yeah,
right
incriminate
saying I
yourself
did it.
over and over and over.
Yeah, that doesn't sit well with me. But
Mm-mm.
nonetheless, bullshit and a decent scope. Someone said a
It's
decent.
it's not about this kid. It's not about Charlie Kirk. It's about what happens next now, right?
Yeah, big time.
Um,
What do you think is going to
because
happen next?
man, more societal breakdown, less trust in each other, more hard lines drawn. You know, I've seen a lot of people show their true colors and how they really feel that you know, offing somebody to silence their political opinion is acceptable. Um, I watched a Congress member testify earlier. I was watching Show Intel, and she had the congressional hearings up, and they were talking about 25% of people who identify as liberals believe that violence is okay to promote a political agenda. That's a big number. That's a
That
big
is,
number.
that's a huge number.
So
I didn't know
they're
that.
willing to perpetrate violence. When they asked people on the right the same question, the answer it was less than 3% of people. So the right isn't willing to go that route and take they want to take the moral high ground, but when the other side wants you dead, the moral high ground isn't so high, you know.
Well, but it doesn't become high because a lot of the people on the right are going to defend themselves, right? There's a completely different angle. Like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not going to sit there and sort after left leaning anyone, but should we go toe to toe, then we get it on. But
Yeah.
until that moment, I think a lot of us are going to take, like you said, the moral high ground. But when it comes to protecting ourselves or our family, that's when we show up. I don't know, man. As far as the rest of this year, I see more problems because people are losing their jobs, right?
Yeah.
I want to say the number is not exact, but we're over 400 people lost their jobs because of their reaction to Charlie Kirk. What the hell? Let me see. I know I had notes for tonight, and I don't want to get them confused, but yeah, because then tonight I talk about you know, whether Charlie Kirk or not was our JFK, and I'm gonna talk about that a little later tonight on the Angry Truth. But as far as there's been more call for violence, more call for
Yeah.
doing shit to other right leaning people, which is like, all right, so then what does that look like? Is that civil war? Is that just skirmishes? Is that people reaching out to other people they know? And, you know, because listen, if somebody from the left gets popped,
Oh man, it's over. It's over. Then the top blows off the kettle and everything's out of the bag, right? Then
okay,
you descend into without rule of law really really fast. I started asking the Chat GPT questions about this earlier tonight before we went live, and it says that it says indicators that we're watching, aka the AI is watching.
okay,
Political polarization status is very high. Trust in institutions, this is another red light, and that's extremely low. Election legitimacy concerns are high. That's an orange light. Organized extremist groups, active but not dominant. That's orange, so that's also elevated. Military and police fragmentation, that's still cohesive. That's the only green light on their board here. And mass mobilization capacity is high because of social media. And economic distress is also orange, and it says mixed regional. Um, it says that the bottom line is America is not active in civil unrest, but the risk is elevated. One major crisis or shock, disputed election, another George Floyd type event, and economic collapse could ignite nationwide unrest, especially in cities. The 2026 midterms and the 2028 elections will be a critical test of stability. I
so
agree. I asked it, how close is America to widespread civil unrest?
that's what you asked.
Yep.
No shit.
Yep.
Um, it's funny because they want another George Floyd situation. There was a situation, I do not know where it was. I saw the video. The guy was unarmed, but he kept lurking. He kept lurking at the cop. Lurking, wrong word.
Yeah. Yeah. Like jumping at him,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. He kept jumping at the cop, and at some point the cop looked like he was, but where it started, where it ended, the cop looked like he was about a block away from his car. And everybody was telling the cop, "Yo, yo, don't do, no, no, let me get him, let me get it." And the guy was like, oh yeah," and the cop kept like pushing him back and hitting him, and then he jumped at him one more time, and the cop let him have it. And the media was trying to make something of that, but you, I don't think anybody gives a fuck because like everything that's going on with Charlie Kirk, again, people losing their jobs, and people losing their jobs, I think is going to end. It's going to create violence for somebody because people are doing
Yeah.
videos, and some people who are doing videos are trying to backtrack. They're like, well, I just disagreed with Charlie Kirk, and that I didn't care that he was dead. I'm like, listen. I believe people have the First Amendment. You can say what you want. You can say you hated Charlie Kirk. You can say it was good for him. That is entirely up to you. Um, Going after people, doxing them, and getting them to lose their job, I think is a bit bullshit, because
Yeah.
that takes away what the First Amendment stands for, and you cannot have it both ways. Do I listen? Do we take it upon ourselves if we heard someone talking shit about Charlie Kirk or going to their memorials and stepping all over the flowers? Should we,
Oh
like,
God.
if you had to, could you handle those people? Absolutely. But that's on a civilian one-on-one scale. To go to their job and then be like, yo, they said this, fired them. That can that can hit the
Yeah,
wrong person, and that person can then set it off at a Charlie Kirk memorial or
for
a
real.
vigil, right? And he
Yep,
can go
you're not wrong.
and just start spraying everybody down because he lost his job. So there's definitely something ready to happen. And yes, Sid, obviously, if they threaten your family like they threaten his, then they should lose their job. Once they start threatening violence on Charlie Kirk's family or other, then absolutely they should probably lose their jobs. But
Yeah.
saying that they didn't like him and good for him, I don't. I don't think that they should have lost their jobs over that. Because listen, bottom line is some shit's going to come to them. That's just how I look at it. I think that them not losing their job, if they would have kept their jobs, something bad was going to happen to them regardless, right? But here we are, where people are losing their jobs left and right, and I don't think that's going to fare well in the long run.
Do you think this? So I had this notion the other day that this is a direct result of fucking everybody gets a trophy and coddling people who don't win, coddling people who have mental illness and telling them it's okay, it's all right. We coddled these people and we told them that it was okay to be crazy for so long that now they're okay with it, and now their morals have completely disintegrated out of their brain. They don't exist anymore. There's no morals. There's no compassion. There's no, you know, they don't care about human life, right?
They
Not any other except their own.
no,
That's it. It's, selfish to the core. Um, this is what that everybody gets a trophy type life creates, right?
right.
It creates these people, and then it starts with the little kids, and every one of them gets a trophy, and then it's in school where everybody got a ribbon for completing the race. You didn't have to win. You all got the same ribbon. The first place and the kid who came in 20 minutes later all got the same ribbon. And then the teachers, by state law, have to say, "Oh, it's okay, Jimmy. You can be a fucking toaster today if you want to be a toaster today." So Toaster Jimmy goes home, and Toaster Jimmy graduates fucking high school. Now Toaster Jimmy is going to the local fucking state university where he is going to be indoctrinated by the most liberal professors you have ever seen in your fucking life. And then after little Toaster Jimmy graduates, he's going to sit on social media 24/7, 365 in his fucking parents' basement, and he's just going to get hit by the algorithms and put him in the echo chamber of echo chambers and drive that twisted mind just out of its skull until it reacts to some crazy shit like we've seen. And it's happening over and over and over again. It's nuts, man. It's nuts.
Yeah, and yeah, Toasted Jimmy, I like that. That's got to be a fucking shirt or some shit. Fucking no, and the thing is, a lot of people are blaming the colleges. I mean, that's why Charlie Kirk went to colleges. He went to colleges to talk
Yeah.
about about this shit. He wanted to talk about these things and trying to change a lot of people's minds, and he did, right? And so that's where the effectiveness comes from. But um, like you said, this thing is a little deeper. This
Oh,
thing's
yeah.
a little deeper than what we think it is. I mean, I listen. The it's the left and the right. Yes, the left are responding like morons, but are they responsible for this? No. Is some right leaning, ex right leaning kid now went to college and then blame? No, the college is not responsible for this. The colleges are responsible for the way the people are reacting to this, as far as the videos and shit goes, and the memes and the costumes that they're creating and all this other shit. But the bottom line is this all goes back to the higher ups. And again, I look at Israel because what Benjamin Netanyahu did right after he was declared dead, no other world leader did. Not one other. This guy came out with with almost like an apology letter. Sorry that this happened. Why? After you
Yeah.
invited him to Israel and he said no, right? And then who was it? That somebody mentioned him in the chat. It was like not his. It was like his buddy who was trying to get him to go to Israel as well. Um, they had an intervention, I guess, because he started turning against Israel. And listen, I tell people straight. I've lost subscribers for so many fucking reasons. So let me just pile on to another reason. I've never ever in my entire life trusted the current occupants of Israel. Never. The shit that I've seen them do, heard them do, as I was a kid, 13, 14 years old, I started hearing about this shady shit. And now I'm 40 fucking 8. It's over third Ackman, thank you, TJ. And now I'm 48. And 48 years old, they're still doing the same exact shit. Except
Yep.
for they're holding the United States, England, France hostage. Why else do we give them so much money for doing nothing?
Yeah.
Right? So,
Exactly.
again, I don't trust them. I've never have. They play the woe is me card. And um, as far as those people go, they play the woe is me card every chance they get. I mean, like I was on the phone with Prepper Revelator, and I told him about a couple stories with some Jews that he was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Like anytime something happens, they will automatically call you an anti-Semite. Anytime
Oh
something
yeah.
happens, you could
Absolutely.
disagree.
It's like the
Right,
go-to.
right. You could disagree with them about a cheeseburger. What's the best cheeseburger in the fucking East Coast? You'd be like Five Guys. They'd be like, "No, it's this." I'm like, "No,
Anti-Semite.
right, right." They're like, "You're Semite because you know," and so they
Yep.
they just tiny hats. I like that, JF. The tiny hats, if you will, they they play the woe is me card, and there was
Oh yeah.
two stories real quick. One story was a guy I knew worked in EMS for Cornell Hospital. He was driving in Brooklyn. He got rear-ended. It was by a fucking Hasidic woman, tiny hat
Mhm.
woman. And she gets out and she goes, "Did you you just rear-ended me?" He goes, "I was stopped at a light. It was a red light." He goes, "No, you rear-ended me." He goes, "Ma'am." He goes, "Are you crazy?" He goes, "I wasn't even in reverse." He goes, "I was in drive and I had my foot on the brake."
Yeah.
So another guy comes over. He goes, "No, I saw you. You reversed into her." He goes, "Are you fucking kidding me?" So now he knew what happened because he's in the middle of fucking Jewville.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah, yeah. They
right,
set him
so
up.
right, so and not even that, they were just trying to protect her to make him look bad. Then she started asking for money, and I was like, because that's what they do, right? They fucking they
Yeah,
yo.
we can settle
So
out of court right now.
yeah, and right, and so he was like, no, the cops got involved, and the cops were like, listen, he said, you're probably going to lose this because they're going to do everything under the sun to make you look bad. He goes, we do
Yep.
this all the time. They hit cars left and right, and when they hit one another, they don't report it. But if they hit like somebody like you or me, they report it. That was one story. So that was a shady bullshit that they pulled. Another story was in the news. This is probably 15 years ago now, maybe more. A guy gets beat up at a Jewish bagel shop. He goes in there. He's online. And the story goes, he's in the store. He starts making anti-Semitic comments, and then they beat him up. And the Jews jumped. They all jumped on him. They beat him up, and they waited till the cops get there. So they try to charge him with a hate crime, except the point he made, and this is an article later. The point he made goes, if I was anti-Semitic, why would I live in a Jewish neighborhood and go to a bagel shop, waiting online? He goes,
Yeah.
I got skipped. They kept skipping me. Fucking Moish kept coming in, and he goes, it was like five people that skipped me, and I said something, and I got into a fight, and he said they jumped me, and that was the
Wow.
story. And the charges got dropped. So again, and I had personal run-ins with them. Those are two more stories I don't want to get into, at least not today. But my point is, Israel's not to be trusted. I say all of that to say they're not to be trusted. They've done shit with America. They've done shit with the UK, France. They have heavy ties. They blackmailed every politician,
Everybody.
right?
Everybody. Yep.
Politicians on their what you call it, when they're off in August. Um,
Yeah, then they go on their trips back to their second home because they're dual citizens, right?
well,
Isn't
not
that how it
even.
works?
No, what they'll do is they'll invite somebody like you, right? So you're a politician up in your area, and they'll be like, "Oh, let's take fucking Mike up to Israel so we can, indoctrinate you
Yeah,
and
make
show
him
you how we live."
kiss the
Right?
wailing wall, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Holy
kiss that
shit.
bullshit fucking wall, and then fucking, they put a yarmulke
Wear the
on
tiny
you.
hat.
Right?
Yeah,
They put
yeah.
a tiny
Pose for
hat
the
on you.
pictures.
Yep, and then
As soon
they're
as they
like,
put the tiny hat on you, you're toast. As soon
"You're
as they snap
toast."
the picture,
Yep.
you're,
Oh,
got him,
he's a
got him.
Jew too. And meanwhile, they will not go to like the Vatican or something and put a cross on or anything like that, right? Like,
Oh
first of all, we don't
no.
do
Oh,
that.
no.
But we wouldn't, if we did, they wouldn't wear it because it's against their religion. But it's okay for us to put a fucking tiny hat on, right? Anyway, like I said, this shit goes so much deeper, and I've never trusted them since Remember those guys, the Israelites? They used to stand on the street corner yelling and screaming at white people,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? What the hell did they call themselves? They were called the Israelites, and then there was the 5%ers or 1%ers. I can't remember what they called themselves. There was the Israelites, and then there was the 1%ers. There were two separate groups. Then you had the Nation of Islam. The one thing those three groups agreed on was that Israel's current occupants are not the chosen people. They never were.
Right.
They took that land over, and supposedly what's going to happen over there to them is going to be biblical and scary.
Hmm.
But anyway, that said, enough of my rant before I get fucking whacked or kicked off of YouTube. Um, yeah, this is not looking good for America as far as this
No.
this thing turning sideways.
Yeah, I really think we're one. It's going to be Outlaw Jackson always told me it's going to be something stupid. It's going to be something small that just sets everything ablaze, and everybody's going to look back and go, "Really? That was the straw that broke the camel's back." It's going to be something stupid. I don't know what, but it feels like it's right around the fucking corner anymore. So, in my opinion, all signs point to fucking preparedness. Get your shit together, people. Please, please.
Now, Grateful Prep NJ says, I don't think Israel has that much power in the U.S. Grateful Preps NJ, you need to wake up, brother. This shit is fucking a lot more deeper than you think. You need to do your research. And
I
you're
think
huh?
most of the heads of major corporations are dual citizens with
Yes,
Israel. Most of the heads of all the major broadcasting networks are dual citizens or full Israelis. And most of your congressional members and the people that they would call the deep state are dual citizens as well. So
exactly. And listen, man. I'm not picking on you, NJ Preps, Grateful Preps NJ. Sorry, I don't know why I said that, but I'm not picking on you. But you need to do your research. These people are fucking way more powerful than you think. And it's just it's a fact. It's not my opinion. It's not conspiracy theory. It's a fact. In fact, there is if I could find a video, I'll send you a video of a Hasidic Jew who he dropped the bombshell on his own people, and
mm,
it was like holy shit. It for me it was more proof rather than a wake up moment. You are gonna have a wake up moment, and man, when you do, you're not gonna like it. Like not at all, not even a little bit. There are 250 U.S. officials that took pictures there. I know that pretty much most of them did. You know who didn't? Marjorie Taylor Greene. She said she wouldn't go to Israel. She says
yeah,
they invited her and she said no. Uh, NJ Preps is somebody else. It's Grateful Preps. Excuse me.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting both of them confused because one is Grateful Preps NJ and the other one's NJ Prepper. Sorry, so confused.
NJ Prepper, thank you for the donation, much appreciated.
Thank you, man.
I can
Thank you
do
for
it. I can even do modding while I'm live. See that? I just didn't even have to
oh,
fucking type nothing. It was great.
oh shit. Yeah, there's a lot of shit going on in the chat today, man. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, it's lit. It's
Yeah.
lit.
Someone said no more dual citizenship. Yeah, good luck with
Yeah.
that one. That shit ain't
Got
gonna
it. Got it.
happen.
I tell you what, if we could take money out of politics and all these kickbacks and backroom deals that they fucking do, the money that they make in the stock market, all this shit, if you could take it all away and make politicians public servants again, we would have a much better country. They should be there and want to get the fuck out because it was 4 years of hell trying to fix this shit. Not, I want to stay here forever and be your congressman for, Chuck
Ever.
Schumer 48 fucking years. Get the fuck out, man. You should not be there any longer. Your policies haven't changed shit in 48 years. You're not doing that great of a job.
No, no, and yeah. Listen, it's just this country's just bad, and the simple fact that it's being ran the way it's run, and it's being ran by corporations on top of everything else. And
Yeah.
you got corporations telling people, "Oh, no, 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 don't worry about it. There's how much chemicals? It's an acceptable amount for the human body to take.
Exactly.
They can handle it,
Exactly.
you know.
Profits over people all day, every day. They don't give a fuck about us. All they want is to rake in as much of that currency as they can, and to hell with us. The medical system will benefit from us when our health fails from all the shit in our food, right? So they're going to make money because they own the food companies, and then they're going to make money because they own the fucking healthcare companies, and then they're going to make more money because they own the drug companies. Because, well, you can't be curing yourself. We're just going to have to treat you for this for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what it is. And now that people are starting to wake up on certain things, man, I'm like, yo, like there was something I learned the other day called oxygen fasting.
Mm, never heard of it.
Yeah, well, I never heard of it either because I saw this guy talking about this guy's a fucking nut job. I looked it up and I was like, oh. I was like, that's where it is. So oxygen fasting is not oxygen deprivation, which are two different things.
Okay.
Oxygen fasting is 60 to 90 seconds of holding your breath with no air in your lungs. And you do
Oh,
this for
okay. So
60 to,
empty your lungs out and
right,
hold.
and then hold.
Gotcha.
If you can't do it for 60 seconds, start with 30, work your way up to 60 to 90. It starts activating all of these things in your body to, and there's a lot of studies out there. That's the crazy shit. I saw all of these studies. I was like, get the fuck out of here. And so one thing that it does is it activates the which stem cells, which are
Okay.
in charge of fixing a lot of the damages in the body, and it also attacks cancer. So of course
Okay.
they don't want you to know this, but this guy started talking about it, and I look it up, and there are tons of studies stating the benefits of it. The drawback is don't hold it too long because you'll pass out, kind of deal, right? But
Yeah.
it's the what made sense was the emptying all of the air out of your lungs and then holding it for the 60 to 90 seconds. And they said you do it once a day, right? You
Oh
do some
shit.
kind of breathing exercise, and then once a day you do this shit, and you should be fighting off a lot of your problems. But again,
That's wild, man. It's got to be like it's got to activate that shit because your body must think you're drowning, and it's trying to like preserve the brain and the heart and everything.
that
So
would
it's
that
got
would
to.
make sense. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
going to read the studies. I'm going to do a video on the Angry Pepper Fitness channel. But
Sweet.
yeah, someone says your bread never gets stale or moldy. Well, depends. I had bread that gets stale. So I mean, I don't know if that says anything. I also get bread that
Yeah.
gets moldy. So
Yeah, but it
moisture.
takes forever though. That stuff should go in like a couple of days, man, and this shit lasts on the shelf for weeks because it's nothing
Weeks.
but fucking
Yeah.
preservatives.
Well, that's the other thing too. They also make it dry, right? So like breads has some supposed to have some moisture to it. The shit's dry,
Yeah.
so it takes. That's why it takes forever for it to mold because there's no moisture in it to create it. Wonder bread, on the other hand, is the only bread that I know that will mold inside of a week, especially
Mm.
if it's moist, if it's like moisture in it from the bread itself, it will mold inside of a week. But all the other breads, yeah, man, they stay. I had bread that was
Yeah.
on my shelf for almost 2 weeks, no mold, still fresh. I was like, in the garbage. I was like, it didn't dawn on me what it was.
Mm.
Full of
Full of
hope.
hope.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Gotcha. Sorry, man. You're good. You're
No,
good.
no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Full of hope. Thank you for the donation.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks. Um, the opposite. It's the opposite of breath of fire and yoga. Carbon Q has been killing it with the whole weight loss shit.
Oh man, big time.
Yeah, she's been killing, and she's fucking like walking. I don't know where the fuck is she's walking, that she's crushing all those steps, but she's got me by a long shot. She's doing like 20,000 steps. I'm like, either she's walking on a treadmill and working at the same time, or she's walking from here to New York. I don't know what she's doing, but she's doing it every day.
She got the laptop on the treadmill. You
Yeah,
know, just
yeah,
goes
because the amount of steps is fucking insane. So,
multitasking. You got to
yeah, yeah.
harness the ADHD and just run with it. You know.
I know, like my highest, like when I was in Arizona, I think it was like 15,000 steps, and that's because you're walking everywhere.
Yeah.
You're hiking all over Arizona. So I mean, wherever she lives now, yeah, it's definitely working out. Last
I used to have a
month,
step counter on my phone, and it like fuck. I got an update at one point. It just fucking disappeared. It shit's just gone. I don't
wow,
know what happened to it.
she got to get- yeah, I guess. So, what do you think? Well, sorry. What else do you think is going to happen this year? Since we have
Oh
left.
man, I see. I see somewhat of a crash in the housing and auto sector going to happen for sure. Um, I also foresee some kind of major natural disaster. I don't think it's going to be a hurricane. I think maybe more like a big fucking earthquake, man. The sun has been acting funny, and I know it can trigger things in the earth, and something like that. More wild space shit. You know, we got fucking aliens coming from other goddamn galaxies right now, so more crazy space shit going on. Earthquakes, big earthquakes. I think that's on the agenda. And more societal collapse, man. I've been doing without rule of law meter adjustments every couple of months,
Okay.
you know, just to try and gauge the pulse. And I think, I'll spit it out for you. Let me know if you agree. I think that I break it down into the urban, the suburban, the townships, and then the rural areas, right? I think the urban without rule of law is probably 29%. I think a lot of people in the urban settings are breaking laws on a daily basis. There's more small crimes that don't get reported, and I think that 30% without rule of law, and most of them get away with it. That's why I say 30% without rule of law. I think when you get to the suburban, I think you're probably 20% without rule of law. There's a lot of shady shit that goes on in the suburbs. That's where you'll find your gang members hiding out and shit like that. They don't go to the cities because there's too many cameras. They're smarter than that. So they stay in the burbs where there's not as many cameras and they're less likely to get caught. So I think like 20% in the burbs. I think it's like 10% in the townships, you know, America, USA, small town USA.
Right.
Um, 10% there, you know, people are doing whatever they can to get by because times are getting rougher, you know, and if that includes skimming at work or, you know, taking some stuff from the freezer at Walmart because you work there, they're doing it because they think they can get away with it and they need to survive. And then in your rural areas, I think it stays pretty close to that 10%, man. People are strapped across the board, and the dollar's worth less and less every day. From the time you earn it till the time you get it, it's probably lost 10% of its value, you know? Just in your 40-hour week that it's losing fucking 5% of its value. So the money you made on Monday isn't worth as much on payday that it was when you earned it. It's crazy, man. Uh, we're just going to keep spiraling. It's like they're greasing the slippery slope at this point, and they just want to see America go off the cliff because hey, the ratings in the news would be off the chain, right?
It
But
was.
it might be the last good news broadcast they ever get out.
Grateful Preps, thank you for the donation on Rumble. Appreciate it. Thank you. I didn't know you could do that on Rumble. Okay. Listen, yeah. So everything you said is probably about right. I know people are nervous about that comet. What is
Yeah,
that? I3A
yeah,
somebody,
Atlas something.
yeah, Atlas asshole, some shit like that, right? So, yeah, they said it changed colors as it got closer to the sun, and that
Hmm.
piqued everybody's interest because they said comets don't normally do that, and it went
Yeah,
from it was it red to green. And they said it was like a
wild.
switch, right? And so, like a couple of astronomers are now nervous because at first they were just like, "Oh, it's a comet." Then they said it was the way it switched color, not so because comets do switch colors or meteors they do as they get closer to the sun. But they said it was the way it did it is what got them nervous. So now I'm like, all right, this could be
Hmm.
interesting.
Bring it on, bring it on. And then there was another one that like popped out from behind the sun the other day out of nowhere. It was
Really,
like literally behind the sun, and then all of a sudden there's another fucking comet.
yeah, man.
They're harbingers of doom, man. Don't. There's nothing good comes when the comets come. That's for sure. Big upheavals, big turmoils throughout history. That's kind of been the case. You see a comet, some bad shit's probably going to happen.
Yeah, because people look at that as a sign, right? I mean, like
Yeah,
maybe the comment has no effect on us, but the fact that people are looking at it and like losing their shit, because like back in the days, people used to think comments were like a part of witchcraft, and other people thought it was a bad sign of a demon or the devil or was something evil. Some people looked at it as comet as like like a wishing star, right? It was in the sky for
yeah.
so long. So there was all these all these interpretations of comets. Um, it's pretty interesting, how things are perceived, and that we get older or more sophisticated, I guess, we start looking at things a little differently. again, it's why I look at the Bible like I don't look at the Bible as set in stone. I mean, because there's some things in the Bible that I think they got wrong, and that's because of technology and
Mm.
advancements we made as humans. We look at things a little differently. I don't think everything in the Bible should be law, but I think there are certain things in the Bible that should be taken seriously, right? Like anything
I think there's
involved.
some of the Bible missing, bro. I really do. I think the church has picked it apart to uphold the church, and I think there's a lot of it missing from its original intention. You know,
Well,
I don't think what we're served is what really is. I think that's the version that they chose to serve to the people.
I think so too. There was always talks, always that the original Bible, that the original Bible was it's in the Vatican, and obviously the one we have was the edited version. Though there is a book right now that's circulating that's actually there's a huge debate, if not an argument, going on. This book is supposedly 1,000 years old, 1,000 years older, right, than the Bible itself, meaning that it was written like right after Christ passed away. Um,
Mm.
and what I mean right after, like a year or two later. I'm not sure how long ago the long the Bible was written from when Christ died, but I remember them saying that this is like the original, the first book to be written, and the language it was written in. And there's a huge debate going on right now whether that is the original Bible or just some book that was written. If I could, I'm going to get more information on it because they have the book. The picture of this book
Yeah.
looks like if you breathe on it the wrong way, it's going to crumble apart. You know.
Wow. Incredible.
Oh, what you call it? Who was just telling me yesterday that this guy's a turncoat, and I'm not surprised. Sean Ryan.
Oh yeah, I heard,
Yeah.
I saw something that he was ending his podcast. I don't get the whole turncoat thing. He was
Yeah.
he was a Green Beret, right?
Yeah. Somebody said something about. Listen, I don't trust Sean Ryan. Sean Ryan has Sarah Adams on his fucking show. Sarah Adams is a cocksucker. You know,
You think she was just gassing everybody up to sell books?
hell yeah, man. Of course she was. I thought, at first I was like, oh, okay, let's heed what she's saying. Then I found out she had a book. I'm like, that bitch. She was doing it to get more
Mm.
attention on her so people could buy her book. And unfortunately, uh, you know, we're lemmings, right? We want to buy new
Yeah.
shit no matter what it is. I could sit there and tell you I'm doing my Angry Prepper vocabulary book. I'm just going to tell you, I got an Angry Prepper vocabulary book coming out,
Oh yeah.
right? I'm
Oh,
not
you know
going
what I
to.
found? I found this on Amazon. He's a friend of mine and a friend of yours. The Roaming Prepper.
He made a book.
His book, Defensive Preparedness. Hang on, let me see if I can get it into the
You got it.
camera
You
here.
had it before you moved it. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. The Roaming Prepper, Defensive Preparedness. Great little book, man. Great little book.
I didn't even know he had it. You know what?
Fantastic job. It's on the Zon, bro. It's on the Zon. Pete's a great guy. We do a podcast every Tuesday. Me, the Roaming Prepper, Vision Preparedness, and the Livingston Man. We do the Four Horsemen podcast.
Oh,
It's a
yes.
blast.
Yeah, yes,
It's a
yes.
it's a blast.
I didn't know he had a book though, and I wish. Listen,
Yeah.
I'll buy it and take a look at it. So, according to Grateful Prep NJ, Sarah Adams and others said there will be a jihad attack here in the United States soon. Saw a guy from Pakistan on podcast last night. He said between November and February. I'm gonna call bullshit on that, and not you, Grateful Prep NJ. Just again, anything that attaches Sarah Adams' names to anything is fucking bullshit. Now, I did
Mm.
say that this whole thing that's going on with Charlie Kirk right now, because Israel is losing control over people following them and liking them and seeing through their bullshit, they are going to need a giant distraction to get people away from looking at Israel as the enemy. So
Yeah.
something grand has to happen, right? Now, interestingly enough, 9/11, obviously, the inside job thing, there's more to it, right? But the one thing I do realize, and rather I heard it today, is that not Israel, sorry, I'm just on a Israel rant right now.
Let him have it.
Right, with the Trade Center,
That was easy.
the guy, the guy who bought the Trade Center, what was it, 4 or 5 months before that happened, was something Goldstein, and he put
Yeah.
insurance on the building that was
For terrorism.
right. There was so much they needed such a large amount of insurance on these buildings. They had to go to the five top or 6 top insurance agents or companies to insure this building, and it'd be the first one to have terrorism insurance on it. First building ever,
Wow.
both of them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they both, and then in the end, both buildings counted as 2 separate attacks. So he got
Yep.
some astronomical number, and then that was it. The building's gone. Now,
Yep. Billions and billions.
right, I've seen these people do something similar to that in the Bronx in the 80s. We called it, and this is probably going to give me red flag, but so be it, Jewish lightning. And this is when they used to burn a lot of the buildings down for the insurance money.
Yeah.
This guy did it on a grand scale. All I'm gonna say is that I'm doing an entire research on it, and I'm gonna have a video on it. And the video is probably gonna be a little long, or I might do a live stream on it because it might be a little easier to sit down and read this shit off. But nonetheless, guys, what's coming our way, or rather, the kind of shit that they do, it's going to be something grand. And it's going to be something to take our eyes off the Charlie Kirk situation and focus on that, whatever it might be.
I believe it.
Uh, what's coming, guys, is like I said, definitely going to be fucking scary.
Yeah, get your stuff together, man. Make a no comms plan with your family. That's a big one. Have an exit strategy in every direction, because you never know which way shit hit the fan is going to come from.
Right.
Last thing you want to do is say, hey, "Oh, my bug out was that way. What am I going to do now? Shit hit the fans over there. I can't go to my fucking bug out location now." Well, you should have had a fucking plan in every direction, because, like I said, we never know which way shit hit the fan is coming from. So.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have just one way off this fucking rock. I got multiple ways off this rock, and I got multiple plans to get off the rock should bridges and tunnels collapse on themselves. So that being said, yeah, like like Hudson Valley just said, yeah, make sure you have multiple exit strategies from your home, from your area, from your state. Always have a backup plan, because shit does get crazy, and it gets crazy fast. All right. So we are at the 10 o'clock mark.
Sweet, time flies.
Yeah, no, it does. I'm gonna head over to the Angry Truth channel. I'm pretty sure I can keep you on.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll keep you on. We're gonna head over to the Angry Truth channel. So give us about 5 minutes to set everything up, and we will see some of you guys over there. I will not be on Thursday night. I should be on Friday night for the doubleheader. I have to work. So that being said, see a lot of you guys tomorrow night, and tomorrow morning I'm going to have an early midweek report starting at 7 because I got to go to work. So that's going to be a Charlie Kirk special, if you will. We're going to talk a lot about the information that's going on, the things they're telling us, the bullshit things they're telling us, and we're going to just go over what's happening to people outside of the whole Charlie Kirk situation that are being affected by the Charlie Kirk situation. All right, guys. Other than that, see you guys later. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up for me. Head over to Hudson Valley Prepping Revival's channel, and like and subscribe to his channel as well. He has a lot of good shit to talk about. Other than that, guys, see you later.
Stay safe.